Alright, opening face-off versus Pucks and Wreck. So face-off loss, they entered the zone. Pucks in the corner. And stripped and shot on net. Dangerous chance. Let's break down a couple items. Rewind. I think to start it off, we could probably be a bit more aggressive, maybe at the blue line. Your choice, really, but I think eventually you'll probably want to gap up a decent amount, maybe to here. That way, when the puck comes, it's not really a free zone entry. You get a little bit, put a little pressure on him. Maybe you can strip it off of him before they get in, and that would already kill the play completely. Now, puck's in the corner, puck's on left side, so this should be a cue for Dave to get in there. So he's going to be putting pressure, and then Ernest should come up and cover this guy, and then Liam would be probably following up the trailer. So a little bit late to that. That's kind of fine, but we get an interception. So at this point, we're probably going to look for getting towards behind the net, or outlet past the middle, or up the boards to the wingers. So this guy is a pretty good forechecker. He already cuts off option number 1. And at this point, it's going to be a pretty dangerous situation cutting up to the middle, because we know there's that trailer coming behind you, because you literally just intercepted that pass. So understandably, it's going to be kind of scary chipping it out through the middle. So you got a couple choices. One is probably bounce it behind the net. That's probably going to make you uncomfortable just because of this forechecker. So the last option is probably going to be bringing it to the boards, protecting the puck, getting it as far away from the net as possible, and then probably just ring it up the boards to the winger. Otherwise, big save on Cliff. They couldn't really walk out because Ernest was there to close it off, so that's okay. A couple notes coming up. I think our gap is getting better. That certainly we're not giving up a free zone entry, or forcing them to kind of move left, move right. If we're able to get up even closer and able to poke check them at the blue line while still skating backwards, it's going to be even better. But it's clearly like we're getting better and better with the gapping here. So enough pressure to kind of break it up there. Now one thing, so Dave settles it down. At this point, looking for a couple outlet passes. They're very aggressive on the forecheck, 3 forwards deep. And one of the things we're probably going to want to mix up is, so Dave's going to do a hard rim, and I think one of the things all the forwards will want to do is get their body right up against the boards. And it's going to be a very similar skill set as the deep, where we've kind of said before, let's say you're a defenseman and a player is coming up with the puck, and a very common strategy is they're going to chip it around you on the boards. And a very common strategy for the D to stop that is to butt up their entire body up against the boards. So let's draw the boards. Let's draw your skate, and then your leg. And a lot of D actually just shove their body and their legs right up against the board, and they can even angle the skates out, just so any pucks flying up there will hit your body and stop. And I think that might be a useful strategy for the wingers as well. If we're doing a hard rim, you can just kind of stop the puck dead in its tracks and then gather it. It's probably not going to be comfortable if it's a really hard rim, but it may be a nice tool in the toolbox to kind of stop the puck down, and then we can have control rather than doing an icing. So this face off, moving it back around, getting to Dave. One quick comment. Just Alex, be kind of careful how high you go up. So this is probably at the very limits, but you can see how close you are to the blue line. Just a caveat is it's going to be, it just depends on how aggressive their D are. If they come up and pinch and attack you. Just something to be aware of. Easy way to kind of know that, just the shoulder check, right? A little head scan with your turn left, and then you can kind of just gauge where the D is. You can see how you're focused on the puck the entire time. So if you can just do a shoulder check, turn your head, that half second probably going to give you enough awareness of where everyone on the ice is. Another key thing, this might be one of the best movements for Fionn. So that pivot right there is game changing. One of the things she has historically kind of, I would say maybe a struggle, or I would say a weakness, is she's always on like skating forward, and that may not be a problem, but it takes a really long path. So she'll be like doing like this and then this and then all the way back to here, without pivoting backwards, and sometimes it kind of just puts her in a tough position to not receive the pass. In this case, boom, pivot backwards. One of the better things, right there. Forced to dump it in, so that's fine. And I think one more comment I wanted to say that I like is, I've kind of mentioned this before, on the attack, don't be afraid to add all like 4 players. So Dave is skating up with the puck as a defenseman, and Alex is trailing. Sometimes in the past, we've the forward would trail way back, and I think that is a mistake. You can be a little conservative. You can trail behind Dave, but kind of keep in mind that you want to be on the attack as well. In this case, Alex goes in, and once we get in the zone, Dave backs out once he sees that there's not a play developing. So I wanted to highlight those 3 things for everyone, and yeah. Alright, I wanted to highlight this as a defensive positioning mistake. So the good is that you see these big long stretch passes are usually going to be ripe for the opportunity to jump up and intercept for defense. So this is a good thing that Eng jumped up to try to intercept that. He kind of did, but unfortunately it kind of got loose. At this point, he should probably back up a little bit, get on that blue line, and then yeah, which he's fine. That's perfect. And I think the mistake here is Ernest lunging forward to try to stop that puck, and it's risky because of how many people are coming in on attack. 3 people on the attack. Because he gets around him, now it's really scary, right? 1 player coming in on the right side, he's beaten Ernest. So now it's a 2-on-1 situation, whereas if we were just backing up together, keeping them on the outside, we got the numbers 3-on-3, or 2-on-3 with some back checking pressure. It would have been fine. This gets a little scrambly, right? Eng is covering for Ernest to 88, and then Ernest still needs to catch up to 11. So if they were able to land that pass, which they don't, but if they did, very dangerous. Cliff was able to gobble up the puck there, no rebounds. So I would say Cliff bailed Ernest out a little bit there, and also we got a little lucky with their player not being on the mark with the pass. But let's say the situation would change a little bit. This player, he's right-handed, right? Forced on the backhand. If he was left-handed, probably going to be an even more dangerous chance. So, you know, be very careful with those kind of plays. Small note on the forecheck, there the other team was they had very good forecheckers. And I think that is probably one of our weaknesses on this game. So Alex puts pressure on this player. And we need to identify all the outlet passes from our forwards. You'll see it's very passive on Mike and very passive on Fionn. If they are able to just cut off this path and or this path, it's going to be pretty deadly. And then this player can be closed off by the D, no problem. Boom, outlet pass. If you're able to get someone on them with a stick lift, that's probably a turnover right there. Good forecheck. However, that didn't work out because we're a little bit passive with too much puck watching, really. So that is unfortunate. Banana peel. Ooh, this one of the best yet, Ernest. One of the best yet. I think small little thing for any forward and Melissa is notice how, well, she's right-handed shooter, right? And then notice how she pivots to throw it back out front. And I think one of the things you could consider, it's not to say what she did was wrong, what you can consider is as a right-handed shot, puck's coming in the corner, she could gather it and then skate up the circle and then back into the middle. Just skating up to on the half wall like this gets her in a really good forehand position to look for multiple passing options on the forehand. And then if she sees that there's space, boom, cut to the middle, and then we can get a nice good shot on net. All the while, right, this entire time you could be scanning for passes along the way. So that's something you could definitely consider the next time. Alright, this sequence is probably one of the craziest things. Pass up to Ernest, almost gets it over the blue line, but keeps it in. One touch pass, tip on net. So that looked pretty cool. Let's watch that again. Simple pass, one touch pass, tipped-ish, and this goalie's flailing all over the place. Couldn't quite get that. Rebound jumps out. Liam's about to shoot it. Wide open net, and then their D, holy shit, the puck's right here, hits their stick out of mid-air and then knocks it down. That is crazy. That is crazy. I gotta use this clip as a highlighting something for Ernest to work on. So backward skates, that's fine. Like, that's perfect. It's excellent. The only problem is, all right, maybe it's a weakness, maybe it's something to work on. The issue is when he leans forward to poke check or to stop, he starts snow plowing and it stops. Like, he stops his momentum. And the focus, or something I think he should work on, is if he can continue backward skating and then be able to poke check while backward skating without slowing down. That's going to be game changing. You can see how he completely comes to a stop and has to pivot all the way around. That's I guess, the weakness, and something that you can certainly work on. Banana peel, pass up to the D. Ernest falls down and what happened? Okay, hold on. Falls down. Oh, did you just fall down? And because you fell down, the puck whacked. So you can see the puck is right here. Got some right in front of the crease. Super scary. I guess you fell down and whacked it to the middle of the ice. Liam was there to recover, but that's hilarious. Oh my god, that's giving Cliff some heart attacks, I'm sure. Alright, this one coming up pretty crazy. So unfortunately the camera is not turning fast enough, but there's this player, comes out 27, gets a pass out from their player and decides to drive towards the net and wrap it around Cliff. Boom, falls, bodies flying everywhere, takes out Melissa, takes out Cliff, sticks left and right. Was it a trip by Aang as well? I don't know. Let's Maybe. No. Maybe? No, the guy, the path he took was definitely going to be into Cliff. What are we? They got Sam Bennett over there. Jeez. Alright, so I wanted to highlight this play. Clean win by Liam, and I skate it towards the back of the net. And I've kind of said in the past, that's my kind of favorite, rather than some D like to just huck it up the boards. That's an option. In this case, I'm a right-handed player on the left-handed side, and that's going to be a little bit tougher, as you're not really in that body position to do that. However, why I wanted to highlight this is I've kind of said in the past, if you lose the puck behind the net, you have a little bit of time to recover defensively. And another thing I wanted to kind of highlight, or maybe make a note of, the moment we don't have a clean puck anymore, that's a time for everyone to switch to defense mode. So that does mean the wingers probably want to start covering up the D, just in case pucks start coming out loose and it's a turnover. So we go from breakout mode to defense mode right away. And we can kind of see we're able to kind of recover. There is a battle behind the net, but both our D and center are able to kind of cover out these two players, and it's not a really big issue. I guess the big concern was our wingers. In this case, I think that's Melissa, didn't quite get to 88 in time to switch to defensive mode. And so this guy gets a pretty monster opportunity in the slot. I think Dave was able to step out on him, but Cliff makes a easy routine save there. Right in the logo, gobbles up, no rebounds. So excellent job there. But yeah, I kind of want to highlight that just because I feel like getting it behind the net tends to be a safer choice, rather than sometimes if we huck it up the boards and the winger's not able to get it and it's a turnover for the D, that I feel like is a more dangerous chance, because then they can probably skate to the middle and then look for shots that way. Just feels scarier, I think. Alright, the next funny part was Liam won it so nicely, like cleanly behind him, straight back, that I thought to myself, shit, I better like move to the side a bit, and that way if Liam wins it perfectly back, I can skate into it and get a lot of speed and we're out to the races, right? Unfortunately, he wins it straight into my feet and I couldn't handle it, so that's a little bit of a delay right there. This fucking number 11 just, I don't know what happened, he just loses it and goes straight in. And it's a tough life. It's a tough life. Alright, right here, I think, very sketchy pass. I think the safe play, boom, we got two forecheckers on you. D to D pass to relieve that pressure is a pretty simple play. To Ernest, if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can always bank it behind the net as well, or skate it up and then pass it out in front. I think this is kind of scary because watch, I guess there is a seam, and get it to Mike. Yeah, okay, it's kind of scary. Oh, let me kind of explain why it's scary. Kind of passes through the pizza zone, right? This pass comes through, get it intercepted here. You know, it feels kind of scary, but in this case it worked out. But I think getting a D to D pass to Ernest would probably be the more safe play most 9 out of 10 times. Alright, we got a scary banana peel coming up right here. Boom, banana peel, and then unfortunately comes a 2-on-1 situation. Ernest goes for the attack to put pressure on that player. Tries to block the pass, just couldn't get down low enough. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. That's fine. And then Cliff bails us out one more time, so that's 2 bails. Piff is on the game, on the ball. Got a pretty fun sequence coming up. Justin gets shot right in the stomach, blocks it, passes it up, a little lead pass, but makes Fionn skate for it. He's able to chip it down a little bit further. Oh, is that the play? Okay, so I need to rewind a little bit. So reaching around, okay, and then trying to stick lift. Oh, big lumberjack chop down by Justin. He's just kind of keeping his stick there to make sure the pass out front. Boom! Knocks it down. You're like, not today. And then boom again. Whoa! Ready to. He wants Big Bertha, the steel pull, ready to break sticks, and then finishes off with a little shove into the boards. Hold on. This is way more fun than anything else that happens right now. And then gives you a little bit of shove. He's like half your size, and then Justin jabs him in the stomach with the blade a little bit. Is it? It looked like it. Yeah, it looks like a little bit, little hook, and then jawing at each other. Turn around, little mouthing, and then that's done. All right, that's the fun stuff done. The actual hockey action. So he tries to clear it out, but Justin, probably too agitated by Justin, and then, well, was it Justin that passes out, or was he a failed clear? Yeah, okay, failed clear by number 11. Leon gathers it up for the turnover, passes it to Liam, just slightly fans on the one-timer and gets blocked on the skate, but good opportunity right there, right in the magic spot. We all love that spot, at least I do. I don't know about anyone else. Good chance and a lot of entertainment. Okay, this one's a really perfect example for all forwards. In my opinion, if okay, in my opinion, so let's watch how Liam skates. He's going right to left, right, on a diagonal path like this. In my opinion, when you see your forward part, like the other person do that, the forward should crisscross. So he's going right to left, you then go left to right. And in this way, it opens you up for a really good passing opportunity and sets you up right on center lane, right? Gets you right in the pathway to get in the house. Now, if you stay wide, in this case, Melissa opts to stay to the left of Liam, and as he comes right to left, and she goes right to left, it puts her in a really awkward outside position, which is not as good for a offensive opportunity versus if she went crisscross and then can able to drive that net if a pass doesn't come, boom, rebound. So that's one thing I would suggest for forwards, paying attention to the I guess the player with the puck. If they're going right to left or left to right, then a lot of cases it would be actually beneficial for you to crisscross back behind them in that manner. In this case, Liam gets a good chance, misses the net, I think, goes back out and we're out of the zone, but I kind of wanted to use that as an example. Here's an example of the pizza. This time it's Mike as our delivery driver. Oh boy. Big pepperoni slice. And then here they come in. At that point, we do a pretty good job recovering, just keeping them on the outside. Mike does a good job tying up this player. I guess this one is a little bit uncovered at the moment. Melissa's back there, so I guess that is fine. Yeah, she breaks it up and then out. Well, that left a little bit to be desired. I was hoping maybe we go this way, a little bit of space, because there's three players on that side, so yeah. And if you're going for a change, I think a dump, dumping it in would be the preferred play if you're going to go for a change, but yeah, that's fine. And then here's another example for Mr. Eng. So you see how all the players are coming this way, and you are starting to move this way. Easy way to relieve pressure as the players are swinging this way. Boom, swinging back across D to D. You guys are perfect position. Left D, left-handed, right D, right-handed, forehand, forehand. It'll be perfect. Instead, we're kind of opting for a pretty dangerous pass, right? You got all this forechecking pressure coming this way, and then you were diffing it up. So it could have been another, a semi pizza versus just oops, send it across to Ernest. Ernest can bring it up to Alex. Alex to Mike. It'll be fine and easy and dandy. As opposed to it's a easy turnover. All right, some good, some bad coming up right here. So good stepping up, forcing the shot up there. I guess one thing is be very careful at going forward like that. But otherwise, the gapping is pretty good. Right here, Ernest tries to ring it up the boards, and here's that perfect example. You see how he put his body on the boards to block it, and that creates a turnover. Now, I think Mike should be covering 27, and then Ang with this one. Melissa's covering this low slot, but like her responsibility will be this D, but she's opting to be that extra support down here, and then obviously Alex is number 4. Little miscoverage on 27. Mike's just cruising a little bit, and then Cliff bails it out. Number 3. Bailed number 3. Oh, number 27 does not give a shit who it is. He's gonna outmuscle anyone. And then, okay, I would have preferred to see Mike there to pick up that center pass. I think Alex played that well. Yeah, I think the center let him down there a little bit there. And then Ernest gathers it up, skates it kind of behind the net, fans on it, loses it, gets in front of Cliff. And then he covers it. Bailed out once again. So we got a bit of a rush coming up here. Justin carrying it in. Tries to go for the outside. And then sends it across. Bit of a panic force pass, I think. I think what he could do would be a more efficient or effective is the moment he's kind of lost it there and he's got room to work with is gather it up, skate towards the boards, and then turn back around, and then you're in a good position, your left-handed shot on that right-hand side. So same thing as how Melissa was. And you can make a decision. You're on your forehand, you can pass it up, pass it out, pass it out, pass it out, right? Or skate it out yourself. Skate it around that circle, look for a shot, drive that net, lots and lots of options. So rather than sending it across like this, kind of a blind pass, just a free turnover for the other team. Luckily for us, they gave it to Dave. Dave goes for a dump, and then this is the best part. We don't need to straddle the blue line anymore. The puck's in the zone. Like somehow we just have 3 people ending up the same spot. Oh man, good. So they're coming in. 100% mistake on my part. Say Melissa's part as well. Dave's doing a good job putting pressure. Way too conservative on me, and I knew that. Totally out of energy during the game, but this is crazy. Cliff bailing us out again. We tried to clear it. Unfortunately, a little bit of a flyby, and then Cliff makes a save right on the goal line, and he was able to out-muscle 2 people, and we're able to get it out, which was insane. So he's failed us out 5 times now. Oh. Alright, little clip on Ernest. He's backward skating. Now, he poke checked again. I think it's slowed down a little bit. He obviously gets beat around him. But it just looks like there's something. I think every time you go for a poke check, you slow down, and I don't know what it is. But that's a kind of an example again there. All right, this whole sequence pretty ugly. Let's try to break it down. That part right there, I think, was bad. Right here, I think it makes sense. Ernest to Mike or Alex, and we should be good. Key facts are, most of their team is on this side, right? And understandably, perhaps this player is spooking him out. But then, yeah, the tough part is, right, you move this way, they fed you right into trouble land. And so as you keep going, this is problem, try to get it out, and they kept it in. At this point, bit scrambly, shot on net. Alex tries to gather it, couldn't quite exit the zone. And then here to Mike, couldn't quite get it out. And back in, forecheck on Ernest, they take it. Defensively, bit scrambly, but now we have control. Chip to the left. Alex should have been on the boards. Fortunately, not. And so they are able to get the puck and in, and we lost coverage in front. Again, here's another example where our D are too busy puck watching and not focusing. Same goes for the center, not focusing on the players behind them. And so, yikes, that's a yikes right there. They still have it. And let's see. Shot on net. That's a yikes. Oh my god, Cliffing make another. It's a 6 bailouts. Again, here's another example of too much puck watching. And all our D are floating, so including the center, are floating towards the puck rather than focusing on the players behind them. And so we don't need to keep worrying about block shots. Rebounds, holy smokes, that's scary. Cliff makes a diving save. Crazy. The sequence pretty wild, and then they clear out. Yeah, a lot of mistakes. So there's a play right here that's a little awkward. Bouncing puck got to a springing winger, backhand shot, and I was like, they're probably gonna blow the whistle. And pressure right behind me, and Cliff goes, yeah, take it. I was like, oh fuck, you really gonna do this to me? Next thing I know, I see this guy. That's crazy. He's been fast on the forecheck all game long. Huck it. Hits Justin's left skate, and Liam goes in, cuts between the D, and snipes it. Cliff says to me, do I get an assist? Do I get assist? I checked the footage. Unfortunately, Justin's left foot has stolen your assist. It worked out perfectly because it was going to be an icing anyways. And now it is 1-0. Alright, gotta give Alex props here. Before he shot from very far away, but now he's gotten himself better angles. He's well inside the house, so always gonna be a nice quality shot. In this case, the goalie makes a save, but much better quality chances. I think this breakout right here, Melissa is backward skating, and then, no, actually not this one. This one. Is it this one? So Dave's coming up. I think ideally we should have seen the singer coming up to give him a option on the inside, but Melissa skates in a forward pattern, which just makes it a little bit tougher to pass to, versus if she was backward skating like earlier, probably a bit easier. Kind of like Fion's example. Big block shot by Ernest and then banana peel. Alright, we got a play right here. Big scramble net front. Not sure if Cliff's making the saves, other people's making save, but eventually this player does trip Ernest, and we get a power play. We can just watch the whole power play, make some comments. Shot on net. No follow up though. That was a good attempt to keep it in. Comes with it. Oh, off the mark. Right. Justin has it. Get it into the zone. Okay. Perhaps took too much time there, but we got it in. Shot tip chance? No. That looks like deflected to the corner. I think our formation is better, and it's funny because Melissa's our most conservative player, so she's running the point. Works out. Dave's got it here. Looking for the shot. Got blocked. Sends it back down low. Justin gets it. Excellent. Oh, right in the bumper for Melissa. Couple chances. I think, myself included, if we could funnel it more to the middle, would have had more dangerous chances. But otherwise, we were in the zone for a while, so can't complain too much. Oh, that's one's pretty funny right here, where Mike and Alex are in the same spot, but we still end up keeping the puck in the zone, so we'll take it. A good chance right there by Mike. Oh, they blew the whistle. Why'd they blow the whistle? Guess they made the save. Is that the power play? We got some okay chances. I won't complain too much. Much better than our last power play. And yeah, I don't think too much to say. I think our breakouts on the power play need to be better. Make sure you get clean tape to tape passes. If it needs to be shorter passes, it needs to be shorter passes. Otherwise, also, yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. But yeah, try to pass to the middle more, move it around. I think we got too trigger happy, myself included, so got a banana peel coming up, face off win, and then uh-oh. Alright, here comes an attack, and then uh-oh, another banana peel, but that's not really what I want to point out. Again, see how everyone's very fixated on the shooter, and there's two attackers right behind them, right in front of Cliff. Cliff was able to make a save and deposit a corner, but kind of a lot of common themes where we're forgetting to defend the players rather than just focusing on blocking the puck. Alright, we got a sequence coming up. Dave with the puck. Skates in with it. Join the rush. I think, like I said before, I would have preferred having our forward also join on the rush, which would be Justin. Rather than being super conservative. But and then at that point, once you've gotten the zone, then you can kind of fall back into position. But anyways, Dave to Melissa, shot, blocked, cleared. Back to Melissa, back to Dave. We all know 5-hole Dave strikes 5-hole once again. Assist from Melissa. And not done after that goal. Mike Fashion, face off, drives the net for a chance right there. Thought it was going to be a Mike special for sure. And we got a whistle, but right after that, face off win from Mike to Justin to Eng to Melissa to Mike. Boom. Right in front of the net. 2 assists for Melissa. MVP plays right there. The game is now 3-0. So some more defensive shenanigans right here. Cliff bails us out 7th or 8th time now. 27 comes around, but again, too focused on the puck carrier. Our center is nowhere to be seen. 2 forwards completely unchecked. This is a disaster. Oh my goodness. And then shot on the slot. Dave. Rebound. Oh, Dave does a good job tying up the stick. Out in front. It's 2 caught on the puck again. Oh. Banana peel or knocked down. Who knows? Anyways. Again, right? 3 players unchecked. Making life difficult for Cliff. Another player unchecked. Cliff makes another save. That's 9 times bailing us out. Pretty wild stuff going on. We'll play right here. Pass down. Alex right in the prime spot. Hits the pad. Oh, come on. Good chance though. Good quality chance. And he was in a perfect magic spot. Boom. Oh, good. Yeah, sequence right here. Melissa takes a shot, goes wide, comes out. Mike tries to keep it in, but he was able to get chip pass. And I guess Dave got caught up a little bit on the attack. And I guess at that point Mike's a little bit too aggressive. Dave's back here, and unfortunately with the speed, they strike 5-hole on Cliff to make it 3-1. Alright, last 2 minutes. Gonna watch it, make any comments. I don't think anything too crazy of note. Maybe easy zone entry right there, but as long as we make life difficult in the slot, it's okay. 27's on a mission. I think he was probably their more skilled player, and 11 was their fastest player. 88 was also pretty strong. Icing. Skip ahead to the face-off. D went for a change. Oh, actually everyone went for a change. Icing. Skip ahead. So we went for an interesting change where the new face-off positioning, I think, with 2 wingers here, which puts us in a pretty good prime position to go for the attack, and then the D's back here. So any more defensively, and Justin times it perfect. Almost. I'll get it. Wasn't too bad. I don't mind that. Dave gets it. Gets out through the middle to Liam. Lead pass? Ah, right in the foot. All good. Coming back in for the attack. keep him on the outside. We'll be okay. Loose puck in front. Able to clear it out of the zone, and Melissa is on a semi-breakaway. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Chase down, keeping it deep. I think one thing she could definitely try to do is if it's ever in a situation like this, rather than sending it down low, you can definitely be annoying and like skate it out here and then pin it. Well, pinning it's probably going to be too annoying, but this is killing some time for sure. And then yeah, I think got to be careful being too aggressive there. Wait, hold on. 2. Okay. Looked like a lot for a second. Dave was able to pin it back there behind the net to make it difficult and killed enough time to win it 3-1. Could have easily been like 10-3 loss if not for Cliff, but we weathered the storm.